Hello my friends, my name is Ryan Freeman. Welcome to my life. Thank you for joining me. I hope that you like this video. Give it a thumbs up. Please click subscribe. I am just having a cocktail at the end of a very busy week. This was a special week at my school. This was a special week in my life. This was a special week for all of my students. This was English week. Okay, so what's English week? I've never heard of it, but a month ago or several weeks ago, I was, basically when I started work, I had a meeting with all of the other English teachers at my school. There are 4 local Taiwanese teachers, all women, 2 American foreign English teachers, both young ladies. One is 23, one is about 25, and me. So 1 dude and 6 women. All right. So I'm at this meeting and I'm told there's going to be an English week where we have to have activities for our students every day of the week. We got to pack it in, get as much fun English in as possible. What should we do? So this was a meeting that the first meeting and then the second meeting and then the third meeting, and I think we had a 4th meeting. There was a lot of meetings, okay? And you know what? I'm sounding bitter, but I'm not bitter. I got to get to know some of my coworkers a little better. I got to cooperate as a member of a team, which sometimes I'm very good at and sometimes I'm not. I'll go back to the time I was not. But, I'm more of a solo guy, all right? So the sports that I have excelled at were tennis, trail running, and jiu-jitsu. These are all solo sports. I mean, you have a team that you practice with, or you might have friends you go running with, and you have a group of guys that you grapple with, but I'm kind of a solo guy. I even like when I play computer games, or I like one-player games. I do like multiplayer, don't get me wrong. I love people. I'm not a misanthrope. But, I remember back to high school when our language arts teacher would put us in groups and we had to come up with an idea. And, there's a vying of wills for whose idea will succeed. Now, I don't really know these ladies. They all kind of know each other pretty well. One of the foreign English teachers has worked there this is her 3rd year. No one really knows me. And we got to come up with an idea. I'm not trying to be sexist. I'm not trying to make a stereotype. But some of these women were pretty indecisive, okay? And I just said, you know what? How about this? And I watch a lot of Survivor. It's the only reality show I watch. It's actually one of the only TV shows I regularly watch. I mean, House of Dragons and the Game of Thrones. And actually, I watch more TV than I'm letting on. But Survivor's like the longest the TV show I've watched for the longest period of my life. And I have always been impressed with their challenge courses. They've got these huge challenges that involve physicality as well as mental solving of puzzles. So because at my last couple schools, I was a little dominant whenever it came to discussions of what we should do, and sometimes emotional. Also, I'll just tell you real quick a side story. Then I'm going to get back to what happened at my current English week meeting. My first school in Taiwan, it was me, and there were 4 South African teachers. And the 4 South African teachers, they all stuck together. And one of them was the South African queen. They're all from South. She had a very dominant and proud bearing, and she kept her court, and no one could really defy her. And she didn't like me. And we had to choose between 3 different songs. She wanted song number 2. I wanted song number 1 that we would have to dance to. I was a better dancer than her, so I thought I was more qualified to choose. But her and her courtiers, or her court, all 4 of them voted for song number 2, and I wanted song number 1, and I did something a little devious, okay? So what I did was, there was 2 local teachers that got to vote, and they were kind of my court. They liked me the most out of all the foreign English teachers. So I got them to vote for song number 1. So there were 3 for song number 1, and then the 4th South Africans for song number 2. And when it came time to vote, when the directors are, all right, let's just see a raise of hands, I did the counting. I just took control of the counting. I said, okay, song number 2, let's see it. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, that counted the 4 South Africans. Okay, song number 1. No one wanted song number 3. Song number 1, I raised both of my hands. I counted the 2 local teachers. I went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I pointed to an invisible person. I said, okay, song number 1 wins, and everyone bought it. It was like there was the 4th South Africans, the 2 locals, me, the director, and maybe some other people, and they all bought it. I just totally got the song and the dance that I wanted. And you may say, Ryan, that is very deceiving, that is very manipulative. Yes, but do the ends sometimes justify the means? Because it was a better dance. It was a much better dance. And I killed it on the dance floor when it was time to perform that. And you might be saying, Ryan, you should always play fair, but you know what? In love and war, and sometimes teaching English seems like love, and sometimes it seems like war. Okay, all right, enough of that side story. I have reformed. I don't want to fall into some of the pit holes that I have fallen into both my first year and second year of teaching English. I know I'm not going to radically change. I'm always going to be myself, and I'm probably going to run into problems, but I'm trying to be better behaved, shall we say. Okay, so I didn't really want to input, but I input, and I just sort of ended up coming up with the idea. Okay, we're going to do this. We're going to do this challenge course. We're going to have kids race around to find, because the English week activities, they had to be short, like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, classes, everyone had to be involved. So I said it'll be a class competition, and it had to be related to the environment and sports. So I'm like, and some people had some kind of far out ideas about, let's just use that money and like build a compost pile or a wind generator, you know, practical ideas. But I wanted fun. I wanted a little bit of razzle dazzle, you know. I mean, these poor kids, they wake up at 6:30 and then they go to bed at midnight, and they've studied all of those hours. You know, I mean, you cannot imagine how much schooling and classes these kids have. So I want them to have a little bit of fun when they're with me. Okay, all right. So I did this challenge course idea, and I actually spent my own time trying to think through it. And by the second meeting, I had it. The first meeting, I had a kind of a conception. Second meeting, I had it. And yeah, everyone fell on board. Now, I'm not trying to take credit for the success, because this challenge course event that was inspired by my love of watching the reality TV show Survivor, it was a very big success. The kids had a lot of fun. They did run and use their brain to put together. They had to solve a puzzle. They had to find cans with letters corresponding to their color in a big junk pile, and then try to assemble a word related to sustainability. That was the theme, and the environment. And then once they solved that, they had to find the correct bin for them to put the cans in, because in Taiwan, every type of recyclable material has its own specific type of bin that you put it in. And then they had to shoot the cans in the bin It was a fun activity, okay, and it was just the right amount of time, and I got a host, and it was a smashing success. Now those that was for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, but Monday and Friday, what they wanted to do was do a song and dance, and you know, one of the teachers was like, "Let's do the electric slide," but how can we tie that into sustainability? And I just said, hey, my idea is already for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm out of Monday, Friday. I'm just going to let them have at it. Not trying to be sexist, not trying to be a stereotype women, but they couldn't really come up with the song and dance. And one of them sent me a message before basically our last meeting to decide. And I just Googled the environment and dance on YouTube, and I found the most ridiculous song. I'll link it down below, called The Ocean Jam. It's the most ridiculous kid song. Easy dance though. Easy dance with simple vocabulary. Perfect for English learners. I don't know about junior high school, maybe elementary school, but junior high is also very silly sometimes. And you could always make it that way, right? So I suggest The Ocean Jam kind of as a joke. But would you know, they decided to go with my idea. So it was my ideas that were planned for all of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all of English week. However, I will say this. As a lazy man, I did almost none of the legwork. These women, mostly the Taiwanese local teachers as well, but also the Americans, as well as many students, put it all together. I mean, they got the cans, they put the letters on the cans. I mean, they did all of the logistics. I just had the idea, and then I was also the MC for most of the days, and also they got me a shark costume, which I had to wear and dance the Ocean Jam. And you know me, I just like to go all out, so I really danced the Ocean Jam. I mean, unfortunately I have no video of it, but I was complimented by many people for my dance moves. Let's just say that. So it's been a crazy week. It's been a long week of English week, but it's Friday, it's the weekend. Tomorrow I'm going back to Kaohsiung for the first time since I left there to train jiu-jitsu with some of my old friends, and I'll see my girlfriend Flo Saturday evening and Sunday, and just chill out. Thank you guys for watching. I wanted to share my experience of working with a team, trying to decide on projects. This is something that just happens if you're an English teacher in Taiwan, or you're just a person with a team, and you guys have to plan, a Christmas party or a Halloween costume contest or whatever it is. This was English week. There was a lot of indecisiveness in the beginning. I just stepped up to the plate, knocked out a couple homers, and I'm glad it turned out all right, because I wasn't sure it would, but it did. And I have to say, my team rocks. Those ladies rock. And I guess what I'm saying is, you need to have a good team. All right. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to finish this cocktail and cook my dinner. Have a lovely weekend. Please give me a thumbs up. Thank you very much. My name's Ryan. Bye.